Hi, this is Derek with Shenko Roofing. I'm out here at the Mbony residence here in Brookville, Maryland. I'm on the front slope of the building. I'm here today because the carrier Allstate has approved approximately 15 to 20 shingles on the roof. And we're here today. The date is August 18th. The time is 2:13 p.m. We're here today to perform one of the shingle replacements that the carrier has agreed to cover. So I'm going to switch views here now. So I'm here on the front slope. There's the front yard, and this is the Mbony residence. There's about, like I said, about 15 to 20 shingles that are wind damaged that we're going to be replacing here. This is the shingle we're going to be replacing. This is our test area. This is our control area. And these are the 5 potential failure points we're going to be looking for if they occur. The National Academy of Forensic Engineers recognizes 5 potential failure points for an individual shingle replacement. They are creasing, tearing, material transfer, delamination, and granular loss. This is a 3-tab shingle, so delamination is not applicable because it's not an architectural shingle. So we'll be looking to see if any of the other 4 failure points potentially occur. If they do, the roof is, if any one of these failure points occur, the roof is deemed to be non-repairable, and we believe this roof is somewhere around 22 to 23 years old. So I'm going to get started here now. I have with me the 3-tab shingle replacement we're going to be using. I also have industry approved tools. I have an AJC hatchet hammer. It's got a straight edge on the head to make sure we don't push the shingles back more than we need to. We need to strike the nails perpendicularly, not from like the side or from an angle. So it's important that we get that directly perpendicular into the decking. So I got the AJC hatchet hammer, and then I also have an industry approved pry bar with a low profile wedge. And this is what we'll be using to unseal the shingles to extract the nails. So with that said, I'm going to get started. And I don't have a cameraman here with me. I'm using my tripod, so I'm going to try to position my camera as best I can so that I can make it observable. And it's very sunny out here, so I'm going to try to see if I can put this in such a way that you can see everything I'm doing. It just got really bright on me. There we go. That should work. All right, so I'm going to get started by breaking the seals. This is our replacement shingle right here, so I'm just going to get started by freeing up the replacement shingle like such. Replacement shingle creases are out. I'm going to start by breaking the seals on these to get the... Ooh, yikes. Yeah, so far one of the failure points is material transfer. So you can see here from this shingle that a big chunk of aggregate just pulled from below here onto the shingle above. This is the replacement shingle. This is the shingles that's going to stay. You can see that there's big chunks of fiberglass matting that got pulled away. What that means is this shingle is never going to properly reseal to the new replacement shingle that we're going to put in. And so it just means the adhesives are really still very strong on this. So that's one failure that I'm just going to circle here and notate here with material transfer. So that you can see that big chunk right there. So I'll keep going. And just for the sake of keeping the film kind of short, I may not point out every single one, but I'll just keep going. Got that one. let's see, the shingle ends right here. So the shingle goes from here all the way to over here. So it's this. So I'm gonna remove this. Let me put this back a little bit so you can see. Make sure. Okay. All right, that should do it. So I'm gonna continue. That one's up. That's up. Yeah, again, really big chunks of granular loss. You can see this one right here. There's a massive hole right now, right there, where the aggregate right here pulled up from there. So yeah, a lot of these shingles, you're gonna get material transfer. So that's another shingle that's gonna have to be replaced. Now that, again, it won't reseal because of this big chunk of aggregate that just got taken out. I'll keep going. So got that one, that one, that one. We need to get this one. Yep, more material loss, material transfer, I should say. The opposite happened here. Instead of the granulars pulling from this one, it pulled from this one. And so now you got the divot here. You can see the fiberglass matting is exposed. And so we got the first course out. And again, you got material transfer here and here. And the first course, I'll continue on to the upper course. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see a tear just formed right here. Right there. A tear just formed right there on the shingle from when I was trying to pry it out. So that's a tear right there. Right there. I'll keep going. All right, so got that one. You can see I'm not being violent or overly zealous with the shingles. I'm just breaking the tabs, and yeah, massive chunk just came out right there. You can see this one right here, big chunk of aggregate. You can see all the fiberglass matting that's now exposed on this. But yeah, these 4 shingles, these now need to be replaced. I'll keep going. Now that we've unsealed the top 2 courses, we can now extract the nails. So that's what I'm going to do here, and start to pull out the nails. Nails. And then one more over here. I haven't sealed this one yet. So that's the bottom course of nails. Now I'm going to go after the second course, which is right here. Let me just check my camera angle. I feel like I'm a little far away or too close. There we go. So as I said before, I've gotten all the nails out of the top course, and now I'm taking the the bottom course. Now I'm taking the top course and nails out. Okay. Nope, not quite. This one. Another nail. Now it should come right out, I believe. Yes, there we go. All right, so shingle's out, and I'm gonna go put the new shingle back in. Just to recap, we had some tearing right here and a lot of material transfer on all these different shingles. Big chunks of aggregate right here, 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 here. Big one right there. And so far I don't see any creasing, which is good. This one has started to crease a little. You can see here that kind of a crease mark. Maybe more angle. This crease mark is starting to appear right here. That crease was already there. Yeah, not a whole lot, but definitely this one right here is starting to crease. Not so much that one. So I'm gonna write that down there. Creasing right there. The other thing, well, let's get the other shingle in. So far that's 3 failure points, and we'll see what happens after we get the shingle in. So I'm gonna grab the replacement, put the nails in, and then wrap this up. If this had passed, I would come back and put a matching colored shingle, but since there's so many failures, instead of going back to my car and getting a matching shingle, I'm going to use this one. And if the coverage decision stands, we'll come back and change this one. But for demonstration purposes, this would be an accurate reflection of the sequence of replacing an individual shingle. So I'll grab my nails now. By the way, here's my card if you want to call me with any questions. And I'll go ahead and get back to putting the nails in and wrapping up the video. And then we'll do one last overview of the repair. I think you're still in the picture. So you'll notice I'm not lifting this shingle all the way back, but I do have to lift it amount just enough to get it into the strike zone, which is right here. And then that's the lower course. Now we're gonna strike the second course up top into the strike zone perpendicular. Again, you have to go at it straight at it. You can't come at it like this or like that or like that. So we're gonna get this right there in the strike zone, and that should do it. So now that we're done with the repair, let's take a look at the observations we had. This. So I've covered all of the material transfer, the tearing, a little bit of tearing, and the creasing that happened. One thing I also want to point out is the granular loss. So when I move my hand across like this, you can see the granulars are just coming like right off. They just come right off of the shingle when I simulate a rainstorm. Now when I go to the control area and do the same thing, you'll notice that no granulars come off. They're not shedding off the roof like in the area of the repair we just did. They're all staying on, they're not moving. So, important distinction, this is material transfer, or excuse me, granular loss, when the granulars just rub right off. You can hear them just cascading, and you can see them just falling apart into the shingle below. That's part of the reason why you'd like to use a different color shingle, is because if granular loss does occur, it's a lot easier to see it on a miscolored shingle than it is with the exact same color shingle. So just kind of like a pro tip we use for looking for granular loss. You can see all the brown granulars are everywhere. Anyway, So all that having been said, I'm going to go ahead and make my final observations. So we had a crease here, so I'm going to put yes to creasing. We had a tear right here in this spot right here. You can almost see my finger if I point right at it, but there's a tear right there that occurred. And material transfer, obviously I pointed at that quite a bit. Delamination, this is not applicable because this is a 3-tab shingle and not an architectural. And yes, we did have granular loss. So 4 out of 5 failures occurred on this replacement, and this would definitely be a fail. This roof and the 15 shingles that they've approved on the various slopes cannot be performed without damaging the surrounding shingles with the following failure points that I outlined, all of which don't comply with IRC 908.6 for impeding the water shedding ability of the roof. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. You can reach me at the number on my card that I had provided. And that's going to conclude our video here today. Thank you very much.